So ever since the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series systems came out at the end of 2020, it's been a mad scramble just to try to find these systems in stock. And the more we hear about this chip shortage, the longer it seems to be ongoing into the future. And with the latest news that's come out around this from the Intel CEO, it sounds like we're going to be dealing with this for the next couple of years. But something interesting is happening online, and might even be a bit of good news for people still looking for a PS5 or an Xbox Series. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new here to the Spawnwave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. Set over here, this was posted up on Push Square. Say PS5 stock issues could last into 2024 as chip shortages continue. This was from the Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger. Said we believe the overall semiconductor shortage will now drift into 2024 from our earlier estimates in 2023, just because the shortages have now hit equipment and some of those factory ramps will be more challenged. And it's interesting to consider that because we think about the systems that are being made with the chips, but we don't think about the machinery that's being used to make those systems with those chips that also require their own chips. So it's like, oh, now we're to the point where those machines need to be need upkeep, maintenance, and sometimes just full replacements. But if the chip shortage hits those, they then can't make these different products that we're looking for that we assume is like the main thing affected by the chip shortage, which going into 2024, we could be 4 years into this generation, potentially. That could be holiday 2024 for all we know with what he's referring to. Before these systems start to show up on store shelves, 4 years into the generation. That is wild, wild stuff. But something interesting is happening here when it comes to resellers with the PS5 and the Xbox Series, because we think about how prices for these systems are through the roof online. And a lot of that has to do, of course, with people going out, buying these up at retail locations or online, which is where 90% of the sales actually happen. And that can be done with bots and other means, right? At that point, the market is affected because there is no stock. They then set their price. But if I take a look at eBay, which I've been keeping an eye on this as we've gone along, just to see where prices are trending, they seem to be going downwards. And I wasn't really expecting this when this news came out. You know, I hear, oh, okay, there's news that the chip shortage is going to go into 2024, which means it's going to be very hard to find these. But take a look at this. I mean, we're seeing prices for the PS5 under $700 now, and these are on bids. So that would definitely give us an idea of the demand for the system when they just throw it out there, bid it up as much as you want, and then whoever gives us the most money gets it. $690 with $20 shipping, $675 with $17 shipping. That's below $700. There's $690, $50 shipping. Here's one that just appears to be used. This is a digital one, by the way. So those retail at $400, but $550 with $20 shipping. You also have to remember, that one actually is used. You have to also remember, eBay does take a percentage. I think it's like 10 or 12% or something. So you look at this price, take that off the top, right? And then you start to realize, oh, these resellers aren't really making that much money. See, resellers like to get an item like a PS5 and you'd like to double up. That's the idea, right? So if you get it for $5, you want to sell it for $1,000. And for a while that was happening. Remember the PS5, we were looking at one point, $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. It's a pretty good markup for these items. $650 for a digital one. Right there, free shipping. So they'll be taking care of the shipping on that, which, what's that, a $250 markup? Less when you take eBay's cut and then the payment for shipping, because the PS5 isn't exactly a small thing to ship around. Here's one for $770. That's the one with the brand new factory shipped with the disk drive and all this, $733. Here's one for basically right at $700. I did notice this one at $1,000, but that's like a major outlier. Basically, what I'm saying is right now, prices are the lowest I've ever seen these, despite talk that we are going to have an issue with supply going into 2024. And when you go over to the Xbox, the prices are even lower. Like the Xbox is almost right at retail price. And remember, on eBay, prices tend to be slightly higher because of eBay's cut and the convenience factor, of course. The idea that you buy it and just ships right to your door. I'm even seeing like this, for example. Here's an Xbox Series X. It is used, but an Elite Series 2 controller and then the controller that comes with it at $500 with $20 shipping. That doesn't sound like a system that people are bidding up like crazy. $580, buy it now, free shipping. Again, you consider the cut that eBay's taking, the shipping fee for that, and these resellers really aren't making much money at all in these systems. And I was trying to come up with reasons why this is happening. The only thing I can think of is, one, resellers are realizing that the demand isn't there like it used to be, which it's not. I mean, when a system comes out, the PS5, the Xbox Series, obviously there is a mad rush for it and people will pay whatever they need to get this hot new item. And when you come out of things like the holidays going into the new year, I mean, now we're into May, but you figure eventually the demand will die down a bit, right? Resellers will move on to the next big hot item. I know like clothing, shoes, all these different things are very popular for resellers to seek out online, but it almost seems that not necessarily getting bored, but realizing there's less opportunity with the Xbox Series and the PlayStation 5 with reselling, which is a good thing because the more that they move on from this and the less people who are buying from scalpers and resellers, the more likely you're going to see a listing kind of last on Target or Best Buy whenever they go up live for more than like 5 minutes. Now, I still don't know if we're going to be seeing these showing up in stores by the end of 2023 into 2024. I would like to think that Best Buy, Walmart, or Target will just eventually go, you know what? Let's just stock these in stores. Let's just put them out there and let people come in and pick them up. Because then when that happens, you will definitely see resellers and everything move on from it. Because the biggest thing currently that they know is you're not going in stores, you're buying these online. And of course, we know there are bots and all these other methods to get through checkout fast. So they have a bit of an advantage there, less of an advantage when it comes down to going out to getting these things. And then they have to realize that's more time spent with this. And again, I'm sure much more lucrative items they can focus on here. So while there's a lot of bad news around the chip shortage lasting longer, just wanted to bring your attention to some good news, as it looks like, at least for now, prices seem to be trending downwards for these items in the secondhand market, which hopefully means it'll be easier for you to get one. I will say, though, at any time, the hype could massively spike up. Let's say Microsoft has a very good showing in that second week of June, or Sony shows up with their own state of play or PlayStation experience and blows the doors off the place, and it's like, here's God of War and all these other games that get announced. Here's Spider-Man 2. Let's show gameplay. You could see prices start to trend upwards as more demand comes in. But just kind of keep an eye on this, because it looks like, at least right now, you can almost just buy an Xbox Series X if you want on eBay for close to that retail, and the PS5 might continue to get closer and closer to that $500 and $400 mark as we go along. Let me know what you guys think about this one down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.